Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
This is a story about a famous American company called John Deere. John Deere makes big machines for farms and for building things. It is a well-known company in the United States. Recently, John Deere made a big decision. The company decided to move some of its work and jobs to another country, Mexico. This means some factories in America might close or have less work. When this decision was announced, it caused a big discussion across the United States. Many people were upset. They thought the jobs should stay in America. This move felt wrong to some. The U.S. president also said he was not happy about John Deere's plan. He believes that American companies should keep jobs in America. He talked about possible actions the government might take to stop companies from moving jobs away. This story is about what happens because of John Deere's decision. It looks at the reasons why the company is moving some production. It also looks at how this affects the workers and the towns where the factories are located. This is not just about one company. It is about bigger questions for the country. It is about the future of American jobs. It is about where important machines and products will be made in the years to come. Will more companies move jobs to other countries? What does this mean for American workers and their families? What does it mean for the towns that depend on factories? The situation with John Deere shows a conflict. Companies want to be successful and make money, often by finding lower costs in other countries. But people want jobs and stability in their own communities. This creates a difficult situation. The story will explore these different sides. It will show the challenges faced by workers and communities. It will look at the ideas from the U.S. president and others about how to keep jobs in America. It is an important story about the changes happening in the economy and what they mean for the future of making things in the United States. 2. A new factory in Mexico. John Deere, a well-known American company, is building a new factory. This new factory is not in America. It is located in Mexico, in an area called Nuevo León. This factory is a large project. It will be built to make certain types of machines used for building and construction work. For example, it will make mini track loaders and compact construction equipment. The company plans for this factory to be ready and start making machines in the next year or two, maybe by the year 2026. This is a big investment, costing millions of dollars, around $55 million for this one factory. Why did John Deere choose Mexico for this new factory? There are two main reasons the company has given. The first big reason is related to costs. It costs less to pay people who build machines in Mexico compared to the United States. Wages for workers are lower there. This helps John Deere make their machines for a lower price. They can save a lot of money on making the products. The second important reason is the location. Mexico is in a very good position on the map for trade. It is easy to send machines from Mexico to many different markets. John Deere can sell the machines made there to customers in the United States and Canada. It is also easy to send them south to countries in South America. Being located in Mexico helps the company reach more buyers in North and South America. A trade agreement between these countries also helps make buying and selling easier and cheaper. Because John Deere is building this factory in Mexico, it means some work will move from American factories. This decision has already led to job losses in America. The company has reduced its workforce in places like Iowa and Illinois. Over 2,100 workers have lost their jobs in the last 2 years. More jobs, specifically for making certain types of loaders, will move from a factory in Iowa to the new factory in Mexico by the end of 2026. Hundreds of workers in that Iowa town will be affected by this change. John Deere states that this does not mean they are leaving the United States. The company says they will still have many factories and employees in America. They say they are a big part of American manufacturing history and the future. They plan to spend a large amount of money, perhaps $20 billion, on their American facilities in the coming 10 years. The company explains that the factory in Mexico is just part of their plan to be strong in the global market and sell machines in many countries around the world. However, for the workers who are losing their jobs now, the future plans do not change their current situation. Seeing jobs move to another country is difficult news and highlights a big change for the company and for American factory jobs. 3. The president is not happy. The president heard the news about the famous American company building a factory in Mexico. He was not happy. In fact, he was very angry. He strongly believes American companies should keep their factories and jobs in the United States. He thinks moving jobs to another country hurts American workers, their families, and the towns where these factories are located. The president's main belief is in putting America's workers first. He wants to protect jobs that are already here and encourages companies to bring back jobs that have moved away. To show his anger and try to stop the company's plan, the president said he would take a significant action. He announced he would put a very large tax on the machines the company makes in its New Mexico factory and sells in the United States. This type of tax is called a tariff. The president said this tariff could be as high as 200%. To understand this, imagine a machine that costs $100 to make. With a 200% tax, that machine would cost $300 when it arrives in America. This represents a massive increase in the final cost. The president's idea is direct. make it too expensive for the company to sell machines made in Mexico to American buyers. If the machines are too costly because of this large tax, people and businesses in America will likely choose not to buy them. If the company cannot sell many machines in America, the Mexico factory might not make good business sense anymore. It could even become a financial problem for the company instead of a way to save money. This is how the president wants to use a tax to protect American jobs and manufacturing. He wants to make it clear that companies should not move jobs easily or without facing major consequences. This action is a key part of his larger plan for the American economy. He wants more manufacturing to happen in the United States and more high-paying jobs for American workers. He thinks this large tax will send a strong message to this company and other companies too. The company planned to save money with lower worker costs in Mexico. But the president's possible tax could add a huge cost, making the plan much less helpful or even harmful for the company's sales in America. This makes the future of the new factory in Mexico quite uncertain. The president is using his power to fight against companies moving jobs outside the country. He is very serious about this goal. This situation creates a big question for the company. Will they continue with the Mexico factory plan, knowing they might have to pay a huge tax on products for their main market? Or will the president's strong action make them reconsider their decision? It is a difficult test of power between the government's policy goals and a big company's business strategy. The president is determined to protect what he sees as vital American jobs and manufacturing capabilities. His action aims directly at changing the company's business decision by making the Mexico option much less attractive economically for selling products in the U.S. market. This is a key part of his strategy to reshape how businesses think about making products and employing people in the modern global economy. He believes strongly that American workers and communities should be the priority. 4. Sad news for a small town. In the state of Iowa, there is a town called Dubuque. This town is not very big. Maybe about 58,000 people live there. For many years, a large factory was very important to Dubuque. This factory made farm machines for a famous American company. Many people in Dubuque worked at this factory. The factory jobs were good jobs. Workers earned good money. They had help to pay for doctors. They had money for when they stopped working in old age. These jobs helped families live well. Workers could buy houses and cars. Their money helped businesses in the town, too. People spent their money in local shops, restaurants, and other places. Then, sad news came to Dubuque. The big company that owned the factory made a decision. It decided to move many jobs from the factory in Dubuque to a new place far away, in Mexico. This news was very bad for the town. Hundreds of people in Dubuque will lose their jobs. Their jobs will go away. This means many families will lose the money they need to live. People are starting to feel very worried. How will they pay for food? How will they pay for their homes? What will they do in the future? The businesses in Dubuque are also worried. If many people lose their jobs, they will not have money to spend in the shops and restaurants. This means the businesses will earn less money. Some businesses might have to close. The town's economy, which means how the town makes money, depends a lot on the factory and the workers' money. Local leaders in Dubuque are not happy about this news. They feel the company should not leave the town. They say they worked hard to help the factory. The people in Dubuque are facing a difficult time. Losing these jobs is not just about work. It is about changing the lives of many families and changing the future of the whole town. The news about the factory moving means big problems and sadness for this small American town. 5. Problems now and later. When workers lose their jobs at the factory, they stop getting a regular paycheck. This means they have much less money to use for their everyday needs. This sudden loss of income is a big problem for them and their families right now. The impact quickly spreads to the local community. When many people have less money, they spend less at stores. Local shops that sell clothes, food, and other items feel this change. Restaurants see fewer customers. Businesses that provide services like car repair or hair cutting also see less business. This makes it hard for these local business owners to make enough money to stay open. They might have to let some of their own workers go. The town's government also faces problems. The town gets money from taxes paid by businesses and workers. With less business happening and fewer people earning full salaries, the amount of tax money collected goes down. This means the town has less money to pay for important things, like keeping parks nice, fixing roads, supporting schools, and helping people who need it. The immediate effect of job losses is like a wave that hurts the whole town's money situation. The challenges do not stop in the short term. They can grow over time and affect the future. The decision by a large company to move production is watched by other companies. If it is cheaper to make things in another country, other American manufacturers might think about moving their factories too. This could cause more factories to close in America and more jobs to be lost in other towns and cities across the country. This would increase the total number of people needing new jobs and support. This trend changes the look of manufacturing in North America. More goods would be made south of the border. The network of companies that supply parts and materials to the factories might also follow the main factory to the new location. This shift changes long-standing supply chains and how products reach customers in the United States. For the towns that lose factories, the problem of finding new jobs becomes a longer-term issue. Many factory workers have specific skills that are not easily used in other types of jobs. They need training to learn new skills for different industries. Governments and schools need to create programs to help these workers, which requires investment and time. Also, governments at the state and national level may react to this trend. They might try to create new rules or offer financial help to encourage companies to stay or build new factories in America. They might also look at trade policies differently, perhaps using taxes on goods made outside the country to make imports more expensive. These political and policy discussions are important for the future of American industry. The problems starting now with job losses could lead to big changes in the economy and how America makes things in the years to come. 6. The future of American factories. The company's decision to move makes people think about the future. What will happen to factories in America? This is a big question for the country now. When factories leave, it is more than just losing jobs. It can also hurt America's ability to make new technology and invent things. Factories are places where people learn and make things with their hands and minds. This work helps create new ideas for the future. For example, people working in factories learn how machines work. This helps them think of ways to make machines better. If these places close, it might be harder to develop better machines or new products later. The skills workers use in factories are important for making future technology. Keeping manufacturing and invention close together is often helpful. Life in towns outside of big cities, especially in the countryside, is changing because of these moves. Many small towns depend on factories for jobs. When a factory closes, it is difficult for the people who live there. Families lose income, and local stores lose customers because people have less money to spend. Over time, these communities might look very different. Some people may have to move to find work, and the town could become smaller as people leave. Many people believe the United States government needs new plans. These plans should help keep factories and jobs in America. The government might need to offer help to companies to stay here. This could be through different rules, like taxes, or perhaps giving companies support to build or update factories in America. The goal is to make sure companies want to build and keep their factories here in the United States instead of moving them to other countries. This is called industrial policy. The future of making things in America is not clear yet. Will more companies move their work to other countries? Or will America find ways to keep jobs here and build new factories? This depends on many things. It depends on what companies think is best for their business, like costs and markets. It also depends on what the government decides to do to help or change the rules. And the world's economy plays a role too. There are different ideas about the right way forward. Some people think companies should be free to go where costs are lowest to be competitive. Others think the government must do more to protect American workers and factories because jobs are very important for people and towns. It is a hard problem, and there is no easy answer that makes everyone happy. Talking about keeping factories in America is very important. It is not just about jobs today. It is about the future of towns and cities across the country. It is also about America's ability to make the things it needs in the years to come and stay strong in technology. Finding a balance is the challenge. Companies want to do well, and that is understandable. But the country also needs jobs for its people and strong communities where families can live and work. This means balancing business needs with the needs of society. This story shows a difficult situation. It is one example of the big questions America faces about jobs, business, and its future in the world. The way these questions are answered will shape the country for a long time. 7. Changes for farmers. The world of farming is changing quickly. New machines use a lot of modern technology. Machines now have GPS to guide them in fields. They have computers and sensors. They can plant seeds and spray fields with great accuracy. This technology helps farmers grow more food and work more efficiently. It also makes the machines very complicated. Companies that make farm equipment, like John Deere, are also changing how they work. They are looking for ways to make their machines for less money. Building factories in other countries, like Mexico, is one way they think they can save money. Lower costs for making machines could mean companies can sell them for lower prices. Some people think this change could be good news for farmers. If companies can build equipment for less, maybe farmers can buy tractors and other machines for a lower price. Lower prices can help farmers save money because these machines are very expensive. Saving money on equipment is important for running a farm. But many farmers also have worries about these changes. They ask questions like, will the machines made in the new factories have the same high quality and last as long? Farmers need strong, reliable machines. They work in difficult conditions. A machine that breaks often causes big problems and delays farm work. Also, farmers worry a lot about getting help when a machine stops working. Machines with lots of technology can be hard to fix. Farmers need fast service, people who understand the technology and the right parts quickly. Every hour a tractor or harvester is not working means lost time. During important times like planting or harvest, this can cost farmers a lot of money. Farmers need parts delivered fast, maybe even the next day. Moving factories might make it harder or slower to get this important help and parts to farms. It might take longer for parts to come from a factory far away. The changes also affect the companies that sell machines to farmers. The move might change which companies are the biggest and best to buy from. Farmers will need to think carefully about which company offers not just good machines, but also the best service and support. They need companies they can trust. The future for farmers includes using very advanced technology in their fields. It also includes buying equipment from companies that are changing how and where they make things. This brings the hope of lower costs for expensive machines, but also worries about the quality of those machines and getting reliable support when something breaks down. Farmers are watching these changes very carefully and thinking about what it means for their farms. 8. What happens next? This story shows a big argument. It is about what a company wants and what American workers need. Companies want to make money. Sometimes this means they move jobs to other countries where it is cheaper. But people in towns like Dubuque, Iowa, lose their jobs. Their families have problems. This is a very difficult problem. There are no easy answers that everyone likes. The President of the United States took strong actions. He said he might put a big tax on things made in Mexico and sent to the U.S. These actions are important. They are like a test. They show how the U.S. government might help American factories and jobs in the future. The future of making things in America is not clear. It depends on finding a balance. Companies do business all over the world now. They think about costs and selling things to many places. But they also need to think about the towns and cities in the United States. These towns have workers and families who depend on the factories. The government, companies, and people need to work together. They need to find a way. Can America keep its factories and jobs? Can companies still do business well in the world? This problem affects many people and many towns. It is not just about one company or one factory. Other companies are watching. If John Deere moves some jobs and does well, other companies might do the same. This could change how many things are made in America in the coming years. It is a big question for the whole country. It asks if the U.S. will make things, or if most making will go to other places, like Mexico. How can America make sure it has good jobs and strong towns for the future? What do you think is the best way to help American factories stay strong?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.